Well, hello, my beautiful Aquarians. Welcome to my channel. This is Baba Jolie here with your career and money reading for the end of November, right through the end of December 2025. I've already cleansed your space and I've meditated on your cards. For those of you who are returning, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for all your wonderful likes, shares, and subscribes. I am truly grateful for all your beautiful energy. Just a little reminder though, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one reading, just so you're aware. Also, please be mindful, scammers are about, pretend to be me and lots of other tarot readers. I do not do personal readings and I will never reach out to you personally to offer one. Also, I will never ask you for money, e-gifts, or donations. So if anyone masquerading as me asks for anything at all, please report them or ignore them. It is a scam, okay? Let's move straight on with your reading. Now, I will be using Gaia chimes, so please be mindful to turn down your volume if you are someone who is sensitive to sound. So let us start your reading and let us begin. Okay, my beautiful Aquarians, this is your career and money reading. I'm going to get your overarching energy first and then follow it with the rest of the cards just to see what is coming your way. But I definitely felt from the Gaia chimes that it's going to be a very full couple of weeks there for you, and a lot of you are trying to get ahead of yourself early, either showing up for work earlier or perhaps doing extra hours there to get ahead of yourself so that you can have some downtime or a vacation. That's something that definitely came out there. So I do see a lot of multitasking and a lot of activity there, but I'm also being given something regarding an alarm. Okay, so I'm going to get all of your cards, of course, but I'm being given this energy of if you have something important to do over the next coming weeks regarding your career, whether it's an important appraisal, presentation, or submitting something, or it's a meeting or something there, I would say maybe have a double alarm or leave earlier, because I'm being given this energy of a missed alarm. So if you have something important and you're setting your alarm earlier than usual to get up in the morning, then I would say make sure you have a double alarm, okay? Because I feel a lot of you are exhausted right now, and there is the potential. I'm getting a small energy here of about 5%, so it is quite small, but it's relevant. It's come through there, but there is a potential there to sleep through an alarm. So just watch out for that, okay? I'm not here to make you feel paranoid. I'm here to highlight something that is a potential so you can deal with it and make sure that it doesn't happen, okay? So I'll leave it like that and move forward. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Aquarians? What do they need to be aware of regarding their career and their money situation right now? We have the World card. We have the Fool card. You are going to complete what you start. I feel like you're going to be very productive. Definitely a flurry of activity happening here. And as I said, a lot of you are trying to get everything done so you can have a vacation or have some time off, go on adventures there. So I definitely see that you're at capacity, trying to make everything complete before you close out the year or close out a cycle. Now, of course, there's always going to be some sort of task or responsibility that is ongoing or is something that you consistently do, but I feel like you're trying to get everything done so you can take a break. So that's coming out there as well. But your protagonist energy is the Magician. This tells me you are very gifted, very talented, definitely going to be very productive there. But this indicates that you are in a very powerful stage to keep moving forward on your goals, and you're steering your ship, as it were, in order to achieve what you set out to do. This indicates, although a lot of you have had a lot of things on your plate and you're exhausted, you're at capacity right now, I feel like you're still pushing on through. The Magician card indicates that, it can be one more final push before you close out the year, because you do have the World card, which basically tells me that you're so over 2025. You're embracing 2026 to see what it has to offer there. But I feel like, you're looking forward to coming to some sort of moment of respite, okay? Now, the Magician card also indicates that a lot of you are thinking about your financial future, but also the future in your industry, how you can apply that magic talent that you have, that gift, so that you can be more successful or open yourself up to having new opportunities. You want to staircase and build on what you have already. I feel you are utilizing the resources that you have at your disposal right now, but also you are seeking new opportunities. The Magician card indicates an intense period of focus for you over the next coming weeks and months there, and it indicates that you are in command. I feel like you're working to a high degree there, and of course, this indicates a lot of you during this period over the next 6 weeks, you're going to be thinking about your performance and how things are going, reviewing where you feel like you're at. Some of you, if you work for a company, this could be a review period or an appraisal period there, checking in to see where you are and where you want to take things to in the next levels of your career as you start to embark on a new year going forward there. And if you work for yourself, this could also be you checking in with how far you've come, reviewing everything that you've accomplished so far over the year that you've been working. And even if it's not your end of year accounts, you still may be checking in because we're coming to the end of a cycle, of course, end of 2025. That's what I'm reading for in this reading as well. So it can indicate that you are looking at your skill set, your resources, and how you want to extend your reach, expand on opportunities, really nurture your skill set, because I feel like you have everything you need within yourself right now. But some of you may want to open yourself up to new knowledge, upskilling, or having some sort of development or research phase where you can stay relevant in your industry and you can do it all. The Magician card indicates right now you are doing it all, whether you are working for yourself or for a company. But I feel this is about skill development and compartmentalizing the things that you have to do right now and the things that you aspire to achieve. If you think about the magician has all the elements on the table: earth, wind, fire, and water. So of course, the pentacle energy is the earth, and that's all about your plans, the blueprint of where you want to take things to next, and the solid effort and energy that you've been making towards making a difference in your industry and making an impact. The wands, of course, are fire, that passion, that drive. A lot of you are exhausted right now, so you're going to have that extra energy to make that final push. And of course, wands are about your energy as well, streamlining, but it's also about making sure you're aligned with your sense of purpose, because the wands are all about that destination point where you feel like you're taking things to next. And then you've got air, the swords, which are all about your mind. It's about thoughts becoming things. It's about formulating that plan, and as above, so below. That's what the Magician card literally is about. If you know the traditional Rider-Waite Tarot, the Magician actually has, a wand in their hand. They are holding it up to the sky, and of course they are pointing down. Just hit my finger there, sorry about that. They're pointing down at the earth. They're highlighting thoughts become things, as above, so below. Very cerebral time for you, but you are putting your plans into action. You're working really hard, and what you envisage for your future, it shall be so. You're believing in yourself, you're backing yourself, and you've stepped into your personal power to take things to next year and beyond. And of course, finally, we have the water, which is all about the cups, and it's about how you feel. It's you checking in with whether you're still happy with the way things are going. Are there any missing ingredients as to what you want to expand in for your future? The Magician card is very future reaching. If you think about it, it's an energy of like you asking yourself, where are you going in your career right now? And also with the Magician card, when it comes to your money, it can be that you are keeping a tight rein on your finances. The Magician card can indicate that a lot of you are utilizing your resources, but finding opportunities to either make more money or to really be clever with your finances and make sure that you utilize them very wisely there. Now it says, the future before you may seem uncertain, presenting both risk and opportunity. A triumph or creative success may bring about a new beginning for you. And I see this new beginning right here. So there is some sort of monumental opportunity headed your way. Now, for some of you, this will set you up for 2026. So it could come in under the kind of like radar just before we enter into the new year, but it could also be something that you hear about or experience just as you step into the new year. Right now, I got to be honest with you, I can't tell until I go to the rest of the cards whether this is something that will come in right at the end of the year. I feel more than anything it is. And I just say that because we have the Fool card before the World. So something new comes in before the end of the year. That's kind of the energy I'm feeling, but I need to clarify it a little bit more with the rest of the cards. Some of you, if you run your own business, you could actually be bringing the magic and launching a new idea, launching a new way of doing something, maybe launching a product, gift, or service that you offer. Some of you could also be rebranding or doing something boldly new that sets you apart from others right now, or maybe it's something you're setting yourself up for to achieve in 2026. And even if you work for a company, this could be a new way of working. So it could be that you are purchasing a tool or you are utilizing a new tool, software, or something new that is implemented in your working environment that feels a little bit like it's going to take a gear shift to get used to. And at first you may be frustrated, but actually I feel like it helps you be more efficient there as well. Now, because we have that beautiful bird in flight, you've got a couple of birds in flight coming out in your cards there. Some of you, not all of you, but some of you may be thinking about migrating your business or migrating your life or finding opportunities overseas. A lot of you also keeping an eye on world markets, the economy, things like that, and how it will affect your industry. Of course, it's been a very challenging time, and you may have been feeling the pinch or the squeeze, whether you run your own business, or whether you work for a company, and you've been noticing downsizing, or you've just noticed it in the price of everyday items. I feel like you're being very savvy with your monthly planning. You're going to be very effective there in order to make sure you know where you're at financially. But also, if you're thinking about migrating your business, you'll be getting some ideas, but also some new information. We've got the Hangman. So that means a lot of you will be learning new ways of approaching a move, a relocation. Now, it doesn't have to be overseas. We've got the World card there that indicates some sort of change or movement. So it can indicate that if you work for a company, there could be an office refurb or a business refurb or a location change. Could be a new branch opening up there because we got the Fool card. This is new hires, new openings of branches. For some of you, it could be that you're asked to figurehead that. Could also be new clients, new projects opening up for you to embark on for the new year. But if you run your own business and you have your own premises, there could also be, as I said, some refurbishment or something new regarding that, or maybe even a more financially viable location for you to work from that pops up and you decide to make that leap and move. Okay, because there's definitely some movement and improvement, and I would say a lot of you, this is making progress no matter what you do. So the World card can indicate you leave the end of the year on a high, feeling really proud of yourself that you did a lot. But we've got this Hangman here. It's in the resistance position. A lot of you are opening up to developing your skill set and learning new things, upskilling or trying to remain relevant in your industry so that you can implement new ways of working, be more efficient. And this could be a period of research for you where you are reading new books or maybe some sort of podcast to help in some way. There's definitely development here because the Hangman puts himself on the tree of wisdom in order to see things from a different perspective and gain new knowledge. So a lot of you could be downloading, new knowledge in order to upskill. You could be getting a qualification or certification in order to advance to new pay grades for the new year. And some of you may even be looking for a new opportunity, that you're leaving where you feel like you're at. You've come as far as you can with that magician energy. You brought the magic to the role, but now you're looking further afield for more opportunities for you and more abundance, okay? Now, of course, a lot of you are also thinking about your 401ks and pension pots over this period, because the World card is like the end cycle. So it can be that financially you're thinking about how you save for your future. The Magician card indicates a lot of you may be brainstorming, because the Magician does a lot of exploring, shall we say, explorative kind of work. Does this work? Ingredients, different ways of doing things, many fingers in many pots in order to compound on wealth or see what works for you. So you could be thinking about second streams of income in order to upskill and also bring in more wealth. Some of you may even think about taking a seasonal role during this time in order to just bring in more money during this period to tide you over the gifting season, or tide you over to save for something that is a larger purchase. Because I feel a lot of you may be taking on new responsibilities there. And some of you may actually be retiring this month. If that is you, congratulations. It feels like you have a spring in your step there, and you're going to have an incredible time, lots of traveling for you. I feel also that, you're young at heart. You can give back to yourself there, and you're going to find lots of exciting new projects and adventures to go on there. But also, I feel like you're going to really explore the world in a way that perhaps you couldn't do before. And it was hard won, all that you've worked hard for, but now you get to enjoy and give back to yourself. So I would say that you're still leaning into your sense of purpose through your retirement. So you're going to connect to a little bit more community is what I'm seeing there, more integration. You're going to have time to really connect to people, really listen, really hear, and actually be seen by other people as well. So if you're looking for your soul tribe, I see some of you through semi-retirement here. So you could actually keep a hand in doing something that you do already, be a consultant or work on your own time so that you still have money coming on in, but still enjoy your retirement. But also some of you could do something creative and new and different that actually you just love doing. It feels like a hobby, but actually you could make money from it. So maybe it's something you may explore over the coming weeks and months there as well. So I'm going to leave it there with that. But the Hangman, this is new knowledge being downloaded, and some of you may actually be creating something that imparts wisdom to other people. So you could be training someone to do what you do right now in order for you to step into a new role or take a vacation. And for some of you, it could be that you're actually creating something online to be downloaded by other people so that you can automate some sort of extra finances. Now, a lot of you, no matter what you do, you may feel like the working industry has been turned on its head in some way, a little bit upside down. You may feel very stuck. You may have felt there's a bit of stagnation that has gone on in your industry. Doesn't mean you're not busy, just means that perhaps the yield or the results have not been as favorable. This will pick up pace. I want you to be aware of that, okay? Now, also, if you're someone who's currently out of work, I see that you are returning to work. I see that there is a wonderful opportunity that is exciting. I feel like you migrate your skill set. It feels very new. Okay, so it could be there's a lot of aspects that are new, and that's why you're learning as you earn. Okay, but there is a role coming on in for you. Again, I'll get more details in a moment. And I actually feel like you'll be in this role until you retire. I feel like you're going to be really nurtured in this role. I feel like there is an energy of abundance here, a lot of success. You feel whole at this working environment, and it is perfect. You feel harmonious. You can utilize your skill set because you've got the Magician energy, which are all elements on the table. And of course, the World card are all elements that are available as well. So I feel there is a role that ticks all the boxes there, and it's reciprocal. You feel content at this, you feel fulfilled, and you can really thrive and flourish in this role, okay? So that's coming out there as well. But let me just read the cards. It says, many things are unknown to you now, so you must make new goals and plan carefully. Act at the right moment, and you will get ahead. So a lot of you, you're looking forward to 2026, so you may actually be planning things for the new year, whether it's new kit, new tools, new ways of working, new plans, new pathways are opening up for you. But I feel like you're already ahead of the game when it comes to that, because the Fool card is there. So it basically means that you will act instinctively at the right moment, but also new goals are going to be, I'm just being given the word incentivized. So perhaps you're going to be given incentive regarding some new opportunity there. Not sure what that's about, but that just came through there. But it says here, in order to succeed, you must find new ways to bring about the achievement of your goals. So a fresh new start, a fresh new approach. Doesn't mean you're actually leaving a position if you work in a company. You may want to stay where you're at because you feel like, there's room for improvement. You want to grow in your industry. I definitely see that things are going to take off for you there, but you may be opening yourself up to more responsibility, more duties, tasks, but you want more money with that as well. And the World card tells me that you'll get that too. But I feel with that Fool card, you may take a leap of faith on something. So a lot of you, what I actually see, whether you work for yourself or for a company, I feel there's two streams of income here. Okay, I feel there's something that is a cycle that is consistent that you'll do. So if you run your own business, this could be something that you already do. It's already quite successful there. There's more to come on that, but I feel like you may launch like something extra that complements it. And this could be like an offshoot of the branch of whatever it is you do right now, or it's something that, perhaps complements what you do already in terms of working for a company. So if, for example, you are someone who is really great with technology, right? You may be running your own company, or even if you work for a company, but technology is your bag. It can be that you're deciding to write a book on technology and how to navigate, the future regarding the industry that you're in. And this could be something you could sell online that is almost automated. You have to do it once because I'm getting an energy of doing something once right now, and then it just takes care of itself. So it could be something that's downloaded there. For some of you, it could be a handbook, it could be a manual. It doesn't have to actually be something that, is connected to your industry as well. It could be something that you are excited about. Like you may work as a PA, an assistant for someone, but you have a desire to write some sort of romance novel or some sort of novel that people are going to be very interested in. So please apply it to your situation, because I just got this energy of like what you do is fulfilling, but you want to do something more or branch out in some way. And we got the World card there as well. Now the World card is of course the end of the year, but also it is a card of success. I feel something new is coming on in here that is going to yield a lot of success here for you. I mean, the Fool card can indicate a lot of you are thinking about migrating your skills into either a new role or a new way of doing something so you can be more efficient. And of course, the Fool card can indicate a lot of you are going to be a little bit of an early bird, trying to get ahead of yourself in order to complete tasks, responsibilities, because you're going to be very productive there so that you can get everything complete before the end of the year. And it says you must find your purpose to accomplish it. There is no guarantee for success, of course, but the experience you'll gain will have the potential to fulfill your desires. But I do see a lot of success here for you. And also I feel whatever you do, you always need to feel like you're making your mark, making a difference, making an impact, and it's connected to your sense of purpose. And the Magician card is that focus. Okay, so let's get to the details, because this is your overarching energy. It basically means you may be trialing new things before the year is out, new opportunities, new ideas coming on in as well. There may even be some like new paperwork to sign, or there may be some new aspect to whatever it is you do, maybe even a change of schedule coming in there as well there. But something is beginning, because a lot of the cards here are suggesting a beginning. Okay, and we have the Wheel of Fortune. So this is exciting. The Wheel of Fortune indicates that you're someone who makes your own luck. You work really hard, but you're going to have extra favor from the universe. So I would say a sudden opportunity is attracted to you at this moment in time. A lot of you could be headhunted if you work for a company. And even if you work for yourself, there could be someone who reaches out to collaborate, or someone who basically loves what you're about, offers you a brand deal, or offers you, some sort of tools or equipment. What I'm getting, and this is so random, so this may not resonate with all of you. So for example, if you do something that perhaps utilizes certain tools or certain things. Okay, I'll give you an example, because my guides just said example, give them an example. So for example, if you work in the movie industry, right? because we've got, you know, a very creative card here. If you work in the movie industry, for example, and you write your own films or TV or whatever it is, if you write your own stuff, you know, you may utilize certain electronics to film that. And there's certain brands that are really well known that you can utilize as a brand to film your project. And it could be that, you know, because you're using their product, they will either invest in your project or they will actually market it or have some sort of connection. They may be like, we love what you're about. We love what you're doing. We're going to give you the tools. If you have to hire them, they'll give them to you for free or a discount, or say, you know, some sort of brand collaboration. Random, I know. Same with fashion, for example. If you work in a fashion industry or fashion house, it could be that there's some sort of deal where you talk about the fashion and say, wow, this is incredible. I'm incorporating this in my project. They'll reach out, or they will get wind of whatever it is that you're doing, or you may tag them in it and they take notice and they may say, hey, do you want to collaborate? Or they open the door of opportunity for you. Random, I know, not going to resonate with everyone, of course, but that came through, so I have to mention it because it just popped in there. We've got the Hangman. Interesting. Some of you are waiting for news on something, but this news will come over the next couple of weeks, something you will celebrate. Indeed, yes, there it is, the Eight of Wands. You're on course. There's a flurry of activity. So if you're waiting for acceptance for something, or if you're waiting for a bonus, or if you're waiting for news on a job, an interview, you're destined to get this. You're destined to sign a contract on it. It's good news, whatever this is. We've got the Emperor. A lot of you could be structuring your business, or there is some sort of promotion going on here. It's a bit more of a standalone position if you're up for a promotion. A lot more responsibility. Remember, it's lonely at the top. You know, people are going to look at you differently, but you're still in command. I feel like you're a great leader. Okay, you're very fair, but people will look at you differently. I have to say that. And sometimes you may feel just a little bit left out of the group, but I feel that will change. It will settle. Okay, so if you are working for a company and you've just been offered a promotion, or if you haven't, you're about to be, and there's a surprise here for you because the Wheel of Fortune is a surprise. Okay, I feel like you'll be signing new contracts. A lot of paperwork there with that Justice energy. There's a reciprocal energy there. The Emperor is a promotion. And also people in positions of authority noticing you. So even if you work for yourself, you're being noticed for what you do. Even if you feel like you go unnoticed, the Hermit indicates that there's an energy of still retaining your independence in your working environment. Even if you collaborate, I feel like your work still sets you apart. I feel there's an energy here of exhaustion. A lot of you are working really hard and you are like completely drained. The Hermit tends to, you know, take a temporary time out in order to recharge batteries and basically receive more inspiration, as it were, and heal. But I feel a lot of you, there's a flurry of activity, a lot of busyness before you close out the year, but there's still one more thing to celebrate. So if you thought like, oh, it's the end of the year, it's coming up, you're just working hard, one more final push, there's something new and exciting coming on in here for you. Could be a conversation, could be a meeting. I would say a lot of you, it's an opportunity, okay? The news that you are waiting for is going to come in thick and fast, and it highlights that you're attracting some sort of opportunity there, okay? Now, let's get to this card. No matter what you do, the Wheel of Fortune indicates a few more surprises. I would say one. I'm only picking up on one, but there may be more than one. I'm just picking up on one, okay? And it's something you will celebrate. It's connected to your commitment. There's definitely progress here. Eight of Wands tells me there's good news coming on in, and also it tells me that you're heading in the right direction. A lot of energy moving fast, including money. I gotta say that, okay? So there is a potential to slow the pace there for spending, because this is in the resistance position. I mean, when you have the Queen of Wands who loves to spend money, okay, and you've got the Eight of Wands, which is a fast energy, but they're both in the resistance position. So this can indicate that, you know, you don't want to have a drain on your finances. So you're being careful with how you spend your money. So you're sticking to a financial plan, but it is gifting season. So some of you may be gifting, but you may be finding deals and discounts elsewhere. You know, there is a Queen of Wands energy in the resistance position. It tells me that, you know, you're not going to emotional spend or overspend. And yes, there's nice sparkly things out there that you will treat yourself with, but you find them at a lesser price. Okay. So I feel that you may be just holding back on spending, or for some of you, there may be even a decision to kind of like delay gifting or delay spending until such time as the sales are on. For example, I'm not sure, but that's something I'm picking up on in this reading. But let's get back to this Wheel of Fortune, because this tells me that you currently are in a cycle of consistency. So you're doing what you do day to day, and I feel like you are pretty optimistic as you kind of like close out the year. You're so looking forward to 2026, because I feel 2025 has been really hard. Now, don't get me wrong, it is going to be also, you know, a lot of hard work, but it's going to be more rewarding. And as you move into 2027 and beyond, I feel the opportunities, it's not that they get harder. I just feel like the value of the opportunities get better, but that requires just a little bit of extra work. So I do feel like you're on course to have a lot of abundance here, because you're turning your life around, especially with that Wheel of Fortune. Not only are you making your own luck, but also you are working towards a goal that the universe is supporting you on right now. And I feel like there is an energy here of repetition. So some of you want to do something new or bring in some sort of new aspect into your industry or your career in order to break a cycle of humdrum, so that you can have something a little bit more fresh. Okay, but I definitely see here that you're on the up and you are making progress, and there is room to elevate here as well. The Hangman, you've waited a long time for this success. You've waited a long time for good fortune or a lucky break, but it's coming, okay? And when it arrives here, I feel it's going to be a lot of hard work. You know that. I feel like you're aware of it. And normally it's hard work because you care. You go above and beyond. But when it arrives, I feel like this new knowledge as well is going to help inform you, expand your reach. You know, as I said, the Hangman is new knowledge, and that is your intention, development, skill development, whether it's language learning, whether it is, you know, honing your skills that you have already, or learning new tools in order to do what you do. I feel like you're building upon what you do already, building on rituals and routines as well to remain on track, because I see a lot of you remaining on track. Now, if there was an opportunity that you feel passed you by, firstly, I always say there's no such thing as that. What is meant for you will never pass you by. But I do see an opportunity that you thought did not go your way or was not coming round. It's coming round for you, and it's going to come quick. Okay, so I feel like you're ready for this, but it happens so quick, and it's exciting but exhausting because you have to get everything done all at once. Isn't that always the way? And for some of you who have been waiting for a job, if you've been out of work, you've been waiting a long time, but you haven't just been waiting there, twiddling your thumbs. Putting your resume out there, of course, is a lot of hard work, but I see that you have been learning new skills or trying to stay ahead in your industry so that you remain relevant and open yourself up to more. There is a high-ranking position coming in here for you, and I feel, again, you'll sign a contract. As I said, it's a standalone position. You're going to be exhausted. There's a lot of responsibility there, but you're going to love it because you're in command and the money is right. Okay, so I feel like you make this role your own. And even if you work for a company, I definitely see here that there is a promotion vibes around you. Now, this may be something that was delayed, or there is going to be a conversation about it being delayed. It feels like it's new, but it may not start until the new year. Okay, it may not start until 2026. So that's coming out there as well. So there may be a little bit of a wait period, but I feel like you're going to recharge your batteries and get ready, prepare for the year to come. Now, very creative time for you, also very productive. Queen of Wands energy is you following your passions. But a lot of you, because this card is in the reverse at first, I mean, it will go into the upright as we move into December. I feel a lot of you are feeling a little bit uninspired because you may feel it's the same old thing, just a different day, but there are some new aspects that are going to keep things nice and lively there. Also, I feel if you work for a company, there could be some team building exercises going on, or some sort of event, party, or something, a work event that brings people together. I feel like you have a really honest conversation with a person in a position of authority, and they really respect your diplomacy, but your honesty. So you're going to tell it how it is. You're not going to be disgruntled or complaining or moaning about anything. The way you address something is going to come up in conversation there. I feel the way that you address something really impresses this person. And suddenly, you were always on their radar, but suddenly you are right on their radar. They want to know more. So as they move into the new year, they're going to have more conversations with you. They're actually going to talk to HR about new opportunities for you as well. And for some of you, this person may even decide to set up their own practice and headhunt you, poach you, bring you with them. Okay, so that's coming out there as well. Now, for those of you who do not run your own business, a lot of you may actually be trying to follow your passions and do something that you are very creative at, very gifted at, and you may be structuring your own business, because I see a lot of legal structures around you, structuring a legal entity business, becoming your own boss. Some of you may actually just become your own boss and just set things up, because I feel a lot of you are setting things up for the new year there. And again, when you work for yourself, sometimes it can be really lonely. You're learning as you go. You're doing it scared. You're doing it exhausted. You're doing it worried. You're doing it. And it is going to be very successful. I want you to be aware of that, as long as you're following your passions. But also, of course, there are some aspects of things that you do that perhaps you're not so passionate about. A lot of you could outsource that at this time to either like an accountant or financial advisor or PA, maybe even online PA service. So if you're working for yourself or about to work for yourself, you may be like looking at the monumental amount of work that you have to do. If you work for yourself, normally you have to do it all by yourself, so it's exhausting. You may be wondering how you can outsource it to make it fair, so you have more time to be a little bit more creative and be the talent, as it were. Now, if you are someone who works in a very artistic industry, I definitely see here that there's going to be a flurry of activity, some really good news coming your way. So whether you're an artist, writer, musician, performer, whatever it is that you are, or even if you work in an entertainment type industry, or you are an influencer, for example, I would say that after a long time of you investing all your energy and time and effort, suddenly there is an opportunity and it puts you in the path of meeting someone very influential. Okay, this could be a networking event that you go to, okay, but I would say there's one person who sees, your star power. A lot of people see your star power, but they may not have the power to put you in the position you want to be in. But there is one person who is in that position. So I see a very influential person coming into your world, and I see a very interesting conversation here. And I also see that they kind of nurture your star power. So this could be like a manager, it could be an agent, it could be a promoter, it could be a publisher, depends on the industry that you're in. Could even be a person who wants to give you an opportunity to showcase your talent. So just be mindful that this period is very potent for you because you have the Magician card. You're getting a lot of attention, attraction there. And I feel like where you felt unseen, suddenly you will be seen. Okay. Now, moving on from that, we have that Eight of Wands. A lot of you, because the Eight of Wands is in the resistance position, you may feel there has been a bit of a slowdown in your industry. But that is going to pick up pace, okay? This is the season for things to get a little bit more active. You're going to be exhausted. I hate to give you that message, but you're going to be on the go. You're going to be super busy. But also, you are on target for your goals. Now, you didn't get any pentacles here. Doesn't mean you're not focused on your finances. I feel a lot of you are being a little bit more structured with your finances, maybe even a little bit stricter there with them. And of course, Eight of Wands, it does mean you're going to have a lot more energy to deal with what you have to do to close out the year, but also it does mean that you need to protect your energy because you are going to be at capacity, okay? Now, the Eight of Wands actually means things are picking up pace, transforming in the way that is very exciting for you. There is something of an adventure about to energize you, something you're going to be really enthusiastic about. So I would say for some of you, this could be a communication or a deal that's offered to you, or it can be if you're trying to partner up with a social media platform, or you're trying to collaborate or just get noticed in your industry. Definitely over the next coming weeks, this is a very potent time for you to actually make a mark and a difference there. And the Eight of Wands actually means that, you're going to be very organized for the pace. And your future self will literally thank you for everything that you're doing right now, because the Queen of Wands is a glow up energy. It means upgrading your life. It's in the resistance position. So right now it feels like you're working hard to make that happen. But in your future, that's going to happen because it's partnered with that Eight of Wands right there. And you have the Justice card. All the effort you're making right now, karma is going to visit you and come full circle and bring you the rewards that you deserve and desire. But a lot of you may be making some adjustments on the way that you've worked this year in order to embrace 2026 in a different way. Now, of course, this card does mean on a personal level and on a business level, a lot of you are going to be tied up with administrative tasks, correspondence, emails, text messages, just staying on top of your day-to-day running of things. And I feel that this is a very serious card about being logical, compartmentalizing, make sure that you don't feel overwhelmed with the amount of work that you're doing to close out the year. But also I see some of you wanting to open yourself up to training, to learn new things, so you can stay ahead. The Justice card, there's always the Justice figure, and they've got one foot, okay, out of the regal robes there. Now, the one foot indicates ready for action, being impartial, logically taking steps towards something. So even though you're closing out the year, I feel like you're still ready for more. You're weighing up your options. You're weighing up, all the tasks and responsibilities that you need to do. You're getting the important things out of the way. So if you have any deadlines, you definitely meet them there. But I feel like you're being honest with yourself as well. Are you getting a reciprocal exchange? And if you're not, you're making a lot of effort here. Remember, you're the talent. You're bringing the magic. You've got the gifts. So if you feel like you're not getting the money that you truly deserve and desire, you are opening yourself up for 2026 for more abundance, more money, more opportunity, because you're ready and it's time. And also, there can be some legalities here as well. Some of you, if you've had an issue with a person, because I see a person here who is, let's put it this way, they tend to get a little bit aggressive, or they tend to get really snappy. They're always like super stressed. I mean, a lot of you are stressed, but this person, it's like they take the biscuit. They're super stressed and reactionary. If you work for a company, this person could be extra reactionary at this time. They're struggling with something. So I feel compassion is the key to approaching this person, because they're not really open to saying what's going on. I feel like they're actually quite a private person, okay? But that doesn't mean that they should take their frustrations out in the working environment. They need to be a little bit more professional. However, you may have a little bit of a conflict or a moment with this person, but the Hangman tells me you distance yourself from this person, take the higher moral ground, and you don't get involved in their drama. They'll kind of like fizzle out, and actually they will seek to reconcile with you or offer you an opportunity to build the relationship back again. I feel like they will apologize. But for some of you, this person's quite stubborn. And if you feel like this is just one too many times, there may be a very important conversation with HR, if you have a governing body like that. And someone in a position of authority has also noticed this person's behavior, and it's just building a file against this person. I feel like they may even already have a first warning, but they're going to get a second, and I feel things will resolve. However, you just want to distance yourself because you don't want any distractions, and this person tends to push your buttons or micromanage you or do something that, causes drama in the working environment. This person eventually will leave in 2026, maybe mid-year to the end of 2026. But I feel like, up until then, you're just going to not avoid them, but I feel like you're just aware that they drain your energy and they kind of bother you sometimes. If you run your own business, this person could be a customer or client or someone you will encounter who frustrates you. And if you are utilizing a service or you outsource some of your stuff to accountants or to PAs or anybody that helps you run your business, I feel either there is an important thing that you want done and it gets delayed because either they're out of office or they have been struggling with their workload, they've taken on too much. I would say chase it if there's something that is time sensitive, because this person, it's not that they're lazy. I feel like they're just overwhelmed and they're frustrated, and I feel like everything is delayed because there's a knock-on effect. Okay, so that's coming out there as well. But you will get it sorted and in the time frame that you want it sorted, okay? Now, the Emperor energy indicates structure is going to work really well for you because the pace is going to pick up. And also the Emperor indicates success and leadership. So a lot of you, there is leadership energy here. If you're not running your own business, I definitely see that happening for you in the future and maybe even in 2026, if you're deciding to do it for then. I just feel like you're going to surprise yourself that it's just happening. And if you run your own business already, I feel like you are taking the initiative to take your business to the next level. And I feel like you may have a new idea where you want to, protect your privacy or squirrel yourself away to limit any distractions there and work hard or get clear on the process before you reveal it or launch it there. But the Emperor energy, of course, is about protecting your position, is about being responsible and showing up for yourself and stepping into your power. I do feel like you have extra duties to adhere to at the end of the year. I'm not sure what they are because, of course, everybody is doing something different, but I feel like you have a lot on and you're going to be okay with the pace. You're going to be tired, but you're going to be proud that you got it all done there. And I actually feel there's a lot to look forward to in 2026 for you and beyond. The Hermit is an energy of being very cerebral, deep in thought, being inspired for what comes next. But also it is a card of taking a temporary time out in order to recharge your batteries. And a lot of you right now are thinking about going solo. Okay, so it can be that either you're running your own business or thinking about setting up a second stream of income that you will run on the side, whether it is like a legal structured business or whether it is something that you're just really good at and you're like, I enjoy doing it. You could make it as a side hustle for some of you. The Hermit energy indicates that you may be looking at your industry and feeling like it's lost its way a little bit. So you're deep in reflection to see how you can make a difference or shine as you move to 2026 and beyond there. But I do see a lot of activity. I'm going to pull another card to look at your finances there. Ace of Wands. Yeah, I feel it's new money. King of Wands. Ooh. Well, definitely collaboration. I did mention that. Now, collaboration doesn't have to be between two people. As I said, it could be with a brand or a company, or it could be with a social media platform. But I feel a lot of you are taking the initiative to start something new or be inspired by something that you are truly gifted at. This is an enterprising energy right now. I feel like you're a budding talent, even though you're very established in some area of your career. I feel there's another area that you could nurture a little bit more. Maybe it's a hidden talent, I'm not sure, but I am being given the word hidden there, so perhaps that's that. Thanks so much, I'm so grateful. I'm also being given a song right now. Not a yes, sir. Not a following. What? Okay. Okay, I'm not really sure what this song is, but I'm hearing not a yes, sir. Maybe it's not, I'm not a follower. I was lightning before the thunder. Actually, I do know what that song is. It is, oh my gosh, there's a catalog of songs in my brain. And let me just see if I can get it. My guys, Thunder, thanks so much, I'm so grateful. Thunder, Imagine Dragons is what I'm being given there. That's also in my memory as well. It just came to me, but my guides said Thunder. Okay, so this is a song actually about a personal journey of not conforming in order to follow your own dreams, to follow your path and achieve much success by believing in yourself. So that's your Magician card right there. Your personal belief system. It's about you taking action, being inspired. The fact that we have a King and Queen here, it can indicate that power couple vibes. Some of you may think about collaborating or partnering up in business. If this has been something that you've been sitting on for a while, it could be something that you structure in the coming weeks and months, or get more clear on before you launch it in the new year. But I would feel more than anything that you're moving from a position of sitting on an idea or sitting on knowledge or sitting on something that you want to launch, and now you're going to be ready, and it's going to transform your life, whatever this is, okay? That's whether you work for a company or not. Now, Ace of Wands, when it comes to money, it's all about being inspired and having the energy to go forward with something that is a new endeavor, and it will yield financial results. Also, the King energy, especially King of Wands, that's an entrepreneur. So not everybody is an entrepreneur. Running your own business is basically an entrepreneur in my eyes, okay? But it means you're very talented. It means that you are very passionate about what you do, and you're a natural born leader. So be bold, be daring, and if there's something you want to do, I see a lot of success around it. And of course, sometimes it requires you going that extra mile by squirreling yourself off to make a difference. Sometimes you're on your own out there doing it all by yourself, shining your light, wondering if it's going to make a difference. But I can tell you, yes, it is. You're doing a great job. You're going to look back on 2025 almost like it was the setup year to the success that is yet to come. Okay, so we've got independent. Yeah, that's written all over your reading right now. Okay, so we also have recycle. What is old is new again. Now, I did mention, you know, an opportunity that you feel perhaps passed you by is coming back around again, maybe in a different form. I'm not sure. A lot of you are definitely going to return to tasks that perhaps have not been completed, but you want to complete them now. But it says here, back to work. Yes, I saw that right at the beginning there. Old job, new angle. So I did mention that as well. Some of you may have a new approach to what you do just to keep relevant and keep things fresh as well. Refurbish. So some of you, if you have a premises that you work from, there could be some sort of refurb going on or some sort of like move there. And it says resale. Some of you may even be selling pre-loved goods from the home space in order to bring in a second stream of income. So please apply it to your situation. You know, if your industry has been going through a dark period, if you think about mushrooms, they grow in the dark. I feel like you've been growing because of it, and actually it is going to yield healthy results for you because you are someone who's able to sustain yourself even in challenging times. So I feel like you are expanding on opportunities as you move into the year ahead. And we've got independent there as well. The cat is a wonderful energy because it means that you're very clever, of course, very instinctive, but you know, you may be in a period where you're waiting and watching. Cats are so observant. They will wait, watch, and assess where they feel like they're at before pouncing on the opportunity. I always love watching a cat when they're locked onto a goal. Remember, your magician card is your focus. Okay, you've got everything you need within you, but now it's like extra focus at this time. And the cat does that little wiggle where they're like adjusting their weight in their body. If you think about the World card and the Magician card, it's the 4 elements, which are foundations. So you may be making some adjustments right now in order to pounce on a new opportunity that suddenly comes out of the blue, because that Wheel of Fortune means sudden success or sudden opportunity, something that is rare. And with that cat energy, I feel like you are locked onto a goal and it is going to set you apart in some way. The Hermit is always about going solo or being independent in the working environment. But it says here, going your own way. Oh my gosh, that song. That song was actually that as well. It's someone who does not conform, is like, I've got my own goals. I am not going to do what everyone expects me to do. So you may be doing something bold, daring, and different. But it says unique path, self-starter, own business, freelance, and boss. And you totally have the Emperor energy of being a boss. So no matter what role you're doing, you're going to boss it up. Totally. But actually, I feel a lot of you will run your own business in your future, or you'll definitely be a boss, managerial skills. You're a natural born leader. And I definitely see that you are building more for your future, and your future self will literally thank you for all the stuff that you've been doing right now. It's hard work. I totally see that there. You're under pressure, and sometimes you feel like you're not making any traction, you're not moving forward, and that's because you're in the middle of it. You can't see it, but it's going to pan out really nicely for you, and I feel like it's going to be fair. You're going to get what you totally deserve because you worked super hard for it, okay? So I'll leave it there. I hope something resonates, my beautiful Aquarians. Thank you so much, and love and light. Sorry about that, my beautiful Aquarians. So just as I turned off the camera, my guides said I did not pick a trinket. And they are right. So here I am back to pick a trinket for you. Okay, I would hate for you to miss out on a trinket. And oh, we have the scales. Okay, so this is an energy, of course, of weighing up your options, doing what you got to do, very practical energy. But again, it comes back to my final point about things being fair for you. The effort that you're making right now, it will come back to you tenfold, and there are rewards because of it. And also, before I leave your reading as well, some of you are going to get communication regarding some sort of jury service. Okay, that's coming through there as well. Now, this may be something for the new year, but you may get the correspondence before the year is out. But if not, it may be just on the cusp of the new year there as well, so early January. And looking at the energy, yeah, I feel like you may be able to delay it if it kind of coincides with something important for you, but the next time you won't be able to delay it. So for example, if you say, I can't make it this time, and you give a valid reason as to why you can't do the jury service, they'll give you an alternative date. And if you say, oh, I can't make that either, they're going to be like, well, tough. You have to do the second one. So I just want you to be aware of that, okay? So pick which event you really want to go to, because one of them you're not going to be able to make. And again, I hate giving that message, but you may need to reschedule one of the things because you're going to have to do that jury service. So I'll leave it there, okay? So for the second time, okay, thank you so much, my beautiful Aquarians, and love and light.